Oh, hello. Ready for a story? Really? A Samhain story? Let's try this one. Women of Wold, written by Sylvan Michael. In a far corner of Albion, where the land plunges helplessly down steep white cliffs into the cold North Island Sea. Here in this oft-forsaken kingdom, where bog creatures howl like trapped wind, and werewolves, changelings, are said to stalk the unwary traveller cowering away at nearby Spittle Inn. Our story, our Samhain tale, comes to life. This is a land resting its head on chalk of countless creatures and bone memories, ancient and living, each vying to be heard once more above the cacophony of modern life. Now, no matter how much concrete and tarmac you heap onto this world, there are times in the wheel of the year, maybe this is one, when a cacophony of unheardness drifts into the wind. October is drawing to a close, and here in this in-between world, an old woman, a true hag, makes her way down along the eclectic, oracular gypsy race. Crossing the rickety bridge that's still held in folk memory, remembered as the point of crossing, where the little folk refused to cross over from Willie Howe, their fairy fort, towards the hamlet beyond. Mary was returning to the old chalk cottage, so filled with memories. She pushed on the garden gate, now rusted and covered in brambles, making her way to the cobwebbed, decaying door. With all her strength, denying her years, the door creaked open. Inside, in the dimness, she could see and smell nothing but dank decay, threadbare, maggoty carpeting, and the detritus of years of neglect. She felt a sense of complete loss and shame at the world that gradually opened to her aged, slowly focusing eyes, and back to a world of safety and familiarity, of rag dolls, fresh baking, cooling by a roaring fire. A time she could now hardly recall. Mary felt her own decay, her frailties in all she could see before her misted eyes. Raising herself up, she could just make out a dark doorway and the remains of a wood-wormed door. Could she bear to drag her arthritic joints to the door, behind which she recalled lay steep stairs? She felt impelled to explore beyond and up. Surprisingly, the door opened easily, and beyond, a soft, glowing light welcomed her climb upwards. At the top of the stairs, a curtain, thinning in parts, but still whole. As Mary reached the top stair, the curtain slid open, revealing, even in dim light, a room freshly swept, fresh flowers on a small table, and the sound of rhythmic rocking. As her eyes adjusted, she was overwhelmed at the vision before her. In the corner of the room, a rocking chair, and to her amazement, sitting in the chair, a figure recognizable, even after so many years. Her grandma, Mabel. Her broad smile, just as fresh and cosy, her lap ever enticing, untouched by time or circumstance, and wrapped in a handcrafted green woolen shawl. As the chair rocked, the vision moved in and out of view. Rock, 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 rock. Overcome, Mary dropped onto the bed, and suddenly the sound and rhythm of rocking and creaking intensified, and sounds of voices singing could be clearly heard. The rocking suddenly stopped, and Mary could distinctly hear a chorus of voices. Grandmother, great-grandmother, generations of ancestral women. And now, sat beside her, strangely, her own beloved mother. So tangible, she could even feel her warm fingers running through her white hair. Her mother spoke. "We've been waiting for you to come, Mary Lou." Mother was the only one who had ever called her Mary Lou. "Waiting for the curtain to part and for you to be ready to see us, knowing that you too remembered everything. Each time the wind blows and the floorboards creak, listen for the rock, 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 rocking. We'll be here for you." She sat spellbound what seemed an age, and then suddenly the room was empty. Her womankind gone. Nothing except for the sound of spiders weaving their timeless webs, and beside her a newly crafted earthen green woolen shawl. Grasping her shawl tightly to her breast, Mary returned to the stairwell, descending through the curtain. As she opened the brightly blue painted door at the bottom, she saw to her surprise a family sitting eating together at the table in a new time. Mary realized that she was invisible to this family, but was reassured that despite the life-changing things she had seen and heard that day, that the life of Chalk Cottage went on. Silently closing the newly hinged door, Mary left the garden, now carefully and lovingly tended, out and back towards the bridge, where she sensed the fae folk, breaking from their feasting, were watching knowingly from Willie Howe. Mary's look of wonder and bewilderment must have been quite a sight. And there, halfway across the bridge, between worlds, was Mary's daughter, worrying as daughters often do, waiting and wondering what had happened to her old mother, and indeed what changes had come over this time-worn, wefted face and had fired her ancient legs. And the mystery of the shawl? That's a tale for another Samhain. So, if you go down into the Yorkshire Wolds today, in between strange rivers, burial mounds, monoliths, strange sea frets, triangular yarns, giants and household hobs, be prepared for a big surprise. And listen, when the curtain thins, as it will, for the sound of rocking grandmas, women of Wold.